In the last video, driving my electric vehicle, my 2022 Chevy Bolt, I came down the mountain from Cloudcroft, New Mexico to Alamogordo, New Mexico, a down the mountain drive of 16 to 18 miles. And my EV range went from 250 miles, round numbers, to 308 miles. How did it do that? It's called regenerative braking. Okay, in other words, as you're coming down, or excuse me, if you let off the accelerator on an EV, the regenerative braking will add energy back to your car. So you can actually charge your car as you're coming down a mountain, which I did. I went from 250 miles range to 308 miles at the bottom. Right now we have 288 miles of range, and we're fixing to go up the mountain. The reason I've got 288 is I've been shopping around in Alamogordo, getting groceries and other stuff, and now we'll see what happens when we go 16 miles up the mountain to Cloudcroft. Another thing I will note is this is July the 20th, 2023. The temperature right now in Alamogordo is 99 degrees. Expected high today, 105. But we're going up about 4,000 feet in elevation to Cloudcroft, New Mexico, and the expected high there today is about 80 degrees. Believe me, and the lows in the mornings are about 55 even right now. Why? Because I have a place near Cloudcroft, and yeah, everything seems, as far as temperatures, I haven't got any issues. But now when we go up the mountain, the range is going to drop quick. Again, we started off with about 286 or 288 miles, and we're already down to 283. Yeah, we'll use all of that. We'll use all of those 80 miles to go up this mountain probably. Because when you start up a grade in an electric vehicle, it sucks up the juice pretty quick. That's why these range estimates, in my opinion, are useless. Well, it's a good guide, like the range on the electric vehicle I have. The electric vehicle I have is estimated at like 250 miles of range. It's got a 65 kilowatt hour battery, and but I've been getting, or it's been giving me estimates of over or up to 350. But that all depends on how you as an individual drive, what the terrain is where you drive, what the temperature is where you drive. There are a lot of variables in driving an electric vehicle. Trust me on that. I mean, this one I've had for almost a full year. To the end of August, it will be one full year. I've got 10,800 miles on it, and I've noticed a lot of things. And one of them is range is kind of iffy. For example, if I wanted to drive back to my home base in Texas, Fort Clark Springs near Brackettville, Texas, and Southwest Texas, it's about 500 miles. It appears that I would only have to stop once to charge and then finish the journey to make the 500-mile range. However, going downhill, going from 8,500 feet to 1,000 feet elevation, yeah, it's going to just cruise on down there. It'll be a fun drive. However, when you turn around to come back, you're in a world of poo-poo, because if you think you're going to have 250-mile range 2 times coming back up here, climbing 7,000 feet or more, no, it ain't going to happen. Why? Well, we're down to 267 miles right now. I mean, when you're going up a mountain, trust me, it really sucks it up. How did I find that out? Well, I took the drive in Ruidoso up to Ski Apache, and it's about 11,000 feet or so, and I drove about 10 miles up, and it took me 80 miles of range. Okay, but coming back down, I got that 80 miles back plus 4 miles. But see, this time, since I'm going up the mountain, when I arrive at my home, unless I'm planning on going back down the mountain to Alamogordo, then I may need to charge. But it looks like, the way I see it right now, if my main drives are just to Alamogordo to get groceries and I get filtered water, then I got a free lunch. I mean, down the mountain, fill it up the mountain, use it up, And but be that as it may, again, it was 99 degrees. Now it's dropped down to 97 degrees. We're at 259 miles of range and burning it up quick. But we've only got to go up the mountain 15 miles or whatever it is. Not very far, but you can't go very fast. Speed limit's 50 here, and in the next few miles it'll drop down to 45, and at the last bit it'll drop down to 35. So to go this 16 miles to Cloudcroft is probably going to take you 25 minutes, if you drive the speed limit, which nobody does. Apparently speed limits are just a suggestion. I don't know, my phone is not in the sunlight, but earlier today I got a warning that it was kind of overheating. So if the video ends abruptly for whatever reason, it's because the phone decided it was too hot and cut off. It's not in the sunlight. I've got the air conditioner on and kind of cranked up a little bit to get some air moving in here. But, for some reason, smartphones just get hot. I don't know why. They're using a lot of battery with all those apps in the background and stuff that some of them I don't think you can turn off. But anyway, here we go. We'll be up to the halfway point, coming and going from Cloudcroft to Alamogordo. The halfway point is really recognizable. It's a tunnel. When we get right here, we're not quite halfway, and we're down to 249 miles. So if we end up with 210 miles of range, I'll be impressed. Because going down the mountain, the regenerative braking added about 58 miles. But going back up the mountain, who knows? It's just a fun drive. It's a pretty drive. And if you're not in a hurry, everything's going to work out cool, But, you can frustrate yourself to death by getting in a hurry on this 2-lane touristy road. See all the traffic coming down the mountain now? A lot of those are people going to Alamogordo that live up here. They're going down the mountain to buy groceries and all kinds of stuff. Or maybe they work there and they don't go to work till 11 or something. But this road to Alamogordo, on the weekends, forget it. It's busy. And holidays, busy. And they have issues occasionally with rocks, big rocks, boulders falling out on the road. Not often, but it happens. But your other option is to go from the Cloudcroft area to Ruidoso, which has all the shopping, and I wouldn't say it's a better road. It's not the incline that this is, because you're going from 8,500 feet to 7,000 feet in Ruidoso. But it's a little longer drive, and it takes you about probably double what it takes you to get to Alamogordo. Probably takes nearly an hour to get to Ruidoso. Now we're down to 236 miles of range, and right here I think we've got about 5 miles to Cloudcroft. So we're going to be knocking on 200's door. But yeah, for all you people that are whether you like electric vehicles or don't, doesn't matter. Wouldn't hurt you to learn about them, because you might help somebody that's fixing to make a purchase decision on an EV, because they are what they are. As far as if you do a lot of long trips in a car, more than 200 miles or that range, you're not going to be too damn happy with an EV. But if you're just commuting to work, less than 40 miles a day, you're in heaven. Cost you 3 cents a mile charging at home. If you charge away from home, you can triple that. I mean, I just use a 110 charger most of the time, and because I'm not going that many places, even though I do drive the car and do driving videos quite a bit. They're not long drives. They're usually less than 40 miles. And to put that back in a car using a 110 volt charger takes 10 hours. So I can put it on charge when I get back from my drive around noon, and the next day it's ready to go again. It's like a good old horse. But you can triple that mileage by getting a 30 amp or a 50 amp home charger. I've got one. I don't use it often because I don't need to. I just have it as I don't know why I have it. I just do. It's one of those things I thought I needed. You know what I mean? So we're down to 225 miles. We're not too far out of Cloudcroft. And the temperature has dropped, shows 91 now. So roughly we've gone down 8 degrees. Yeah, it's amazing. If you drive from Alamogordo up here and spend a little time and then go back to Alamogordo, you're going to go, my. Ain't it hot, ain't it hot. You're climbing from 4,500 feet to 8,600 feet in a 16-mile stretch. When I got to Walmart in Alamogordo and got out of the car, I thought, oh my goodness, what have we got here? Man. Well, that's the way it is in Texas right now at my home base. It'll be 105 today, and tomorrow, and the next day. This is what they call a heat dome, and the weather people admit that it's called that because they can't think of another name for it. Whatever it is, hot is hot. That feels like temperature that they come up with. The real temperature, say, is 95, and the heat index, or whatever they call it, is 105. It doesn't matter, man. Hot's hot. Shit, cold's cold. Let's see how many miles we got left here. We got 4 miles left. We've had to slow down some, but we're at 212 miles of rain. We'll probably get to Cloudcroft with 200 miles of rain. So that tells you that, range is not like a gasoline engine. Well, even a gasoline engine, your mileage would be reduced significantly coming up the mountain and improved greatly going down the mountain. But you go from not only a big temperature change, the environment totally changes. You go from a high desert Alamogordo, flat stuff, there's just rolling hills around there, to this. You got the mountains and forests. You don't really get into the heavy part of the forest till right about now, actually. We got 3 miles left, and we're at 205 miles of range. So I guess we're going to go into the 190s. That's amazing. And we'll use 100 miles of EV range to go 16, 18 miles because we're going up a mountain. So if you're in the Colorado area and you're thinking about getting an EV, be aware, coming down the mountain, you're going to get it all back. You know, I'm going, speed limit's 40, I'm going 48, and I got 5 cars lined up behind me. It looks like a parade. I don't know what to say, man. Same way going down the mountain. My ears are popping now. We're at exactly 200 miles of, whoops, we just dropped down to 199. So what that tells me is good to know. You'll gain about 55 miles going down the mountain, but you'll lose 100 coming back up. So you're gradually digging a hole. So the free lunch idea is a 0. Free lunch, I was thinking about, you know, I could add enough going down to get me back up and on, you know. It ain't gonna work. Nope. Good plan. Yeah, we're making, I think, the last sharp curves coming into Cloudcroft now. It's a beautiful little area, nice little town, plenty of little shops downtown. I don't know the population, but you know, it can't be much over 1,000, if that. The permanent population. Now, as far as in season, you know, say from April through the end of October, it probably triples. Well, it looks like the phone's not going to overheat. That's good. Okay, we're getting close because it says speed limit 35. I wouldn't want to be driving a truck up and down this mountain. Okay, Cloudcroft village limits, but let's wait till we get right in the downtown area and I'll give you the final results. Because we still got climbing to do. When you're climbing an electric vehicle, it uses a lot of juice. Okay. All right, we will call this, we're at the junction of Highway 130. The range right now, the EV range shows to be 185 miles. So we used about 110 miles or so coming up the mountain of range. The temperature dropped from 99 to 82. So we got in a good climate, but we used a lot of kilowatts or whatever to get here. Having said that, guys, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want, use the Amazon link, drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, and if you're going to buy an EV, electric vehicle, be aware that the range is what it is. I mean, if you're in a flat and level area, probably going to be very predictable. But if you're not, it may not be very predictable. But anyway, guys, enjoy your life. Adios. Bye bye.